Good morning, boys and girls. Thank you for joining with me as we share a story time together. You may be able to see, I'm not sure how clear it will be, but on the screen here is a picture of a lovely rolling green hills with one shepherd there with his shepherd staff, and he's out searching for a lost sheep. I'm going to tell you a little story about a shepherd boy who was in charge of 100 sheep. And he loved his sheep, he took care of them, good care of them, and he took them every morning, he took them into the hills and by the streams where they had lots of fresh water, cool water to drink, and they had lots of fresh, lovely green grass to eat. But there was one sheep, and this shepherd, all shepherds in the Middle East, they knew their sheep by name, they named their sheep. And there was one sheep always that was getting lost. Just wander off, and his name was Charlie. And in the middle of the day, the young shepherd boy realized that Charlie once again was gone. While all the other sheep were milling about and eating and munching away on all this lovely grass and wandering over to the stream when they needed to, Charlie was off exploring. So the young shepherd boy would head out and he would walk through all of his sheep and he'd be calling, "Charlie, Charlie, Charlie, where are you?" And finally he heard and saw Charlie. In the distance, he was exploring a bunch of rocky areas. And so he brought Charlie back with all the other sheep. And he sat down again. He was happy because all the sheep were together. And he started to sing some songs to God, whom he understood that God is like himself, a good shepherd that cares for his sheep, that cares for his people, that leads his people where there is safety and where there is lots and abundance for them to have as they follow God. And as he's singing these songs, he realizes that it's getting dark now. So he stands up, he jumps up in fact, and he goes through his sheep and he starts counting all the sheep. He knows it's time to take them back down to his sheep pen, down at the bottom of the hills. And he counts his sheep, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. There's one missing again. So he takes them all down as best he can, as fast as he can. He puts all 99 sheep in safety in the sheep pen, and he's tired and he's hungry. He's been outside all day. But he goes back. It's dark out now, and he knows Charlie needs him. And he loves Charlie as he loves all of his sheep. These 99 are fine. They're safe. So he goes back into the hills in the dark, trying to find Charlie. And again, just like every day, he's calling out, "Charlie, Charlie, where are you?" And as he's calling out his name, he hears the roar of a mountain lion. And he gets a little scared. But he remembers that he's been able, using his shepherd staff, to beat away several wild animals that were hungry and trying to capture his sheep to eat them. So he made an even faster trek of trying to find Charlie. And finally he heard Charlie, "Bah, bah!" And he found him stuck in a thorn bush. So he used his shepherd staff to kind of pry Charlie out without tearing out too much of the fur or of the wool from the sheep. And then he picked up Charlie and he put him on his shoulders and he said, "Oh, Charlie, I'm so glad I found you. Why do you always wander away?" And he took him back down into the sheep pen, and all of them were safe once again. He knew he'd probably do the same thing again tomorrow, but still he loved his sheep. Have you ever been lost? I mean, you can be lost not knowing geographically where you are. You're not sure what street you're on. You're not sure, even if you go on a trip with your parents, you're not sure what city or what town you're in. But as long as somebody's with you who knows exactly where you are and where you're going, you feel safe and secure. And you feel like you can enjoy everything that's going on. But when you're lost, when you feel lost, that's another story altogether, isn't it? I've been lost. My family's been lost at different times. And it's so good to know when we're found that we are safe once again. God is like that. He's always seeking to care for us. And sometimes we get lost because, like Charlie the little sheep, we wander away. We know we should be going this way, following Jesus, but sometimes we go that way instead, and we want to do our own thing. And maybe it's because somebody hurt us, and we want to hurt them back, and that's not what the Lord wants us to be about. eventually, God never gives up, and his love will win. He wins the day, and he helps us to come back to following Jesus, back to being safe and secure with all of his people. God never gives up on us. God never stops loving you. And that's a wondrous thing about God, our Good Shepherd. Thanks for joining with me today, and I hope and pray that you'll have a blessed week by Jesus, our Good Shepherd. Bye for now.